Hey there! In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create blog posts and pages. It's actually a pretty simple process. So once you're logged into WordPress, go to the left here and you'll see posts and pages. The process for creating posts and pages is exactly the same. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to create a blog post and know that it's the same as pages. So here's posts. You can either hover over posts and just click it, or you can come here and select one of these. With pages, when you hover over, you just see all pages and add new. The difference is with posts, you also have categories and tags. So what I'm going to do is just click posts. Now here you'll only see that I have one blog post called Hello World. I want to create a new one, so I'm going to go up here and click Add New. Also, as a side note, you can see that those drop-down options are right here now. So here's where your title goes. Say, this is my new blog post. Right here is where the content of your blog post goes. All right, and then here you'll see add media, which is basically if you want to add a photo or something, you click this. And then right now you'll see that you're viewing my media library and there isn't anything there right now. So if you want to upload, you can either drag and drop your files in here, or you can select your files here by clicking that, or alternatively, you can go up here to upload files and do exactly the same thing. Now normally when you have photos in your media library already, you won't see this here. It'll show your thumbnails. So let me show you what that'll look like. So I've uploaded this photo. And now when I was saying that you'll see thumbnails of all of your media items, and when I say media, that includes images and audio and videos and so on. You're mostly going to use this to house your images. So anyway, when I was talking about thumbnails, I was talking about this right here. There'll be several once you have multiple images here. And then if you want to upload, you click the upload tab, and this is the screen here. So once you select your image, see how there's nothing in the sidebar here? That's because this isn't selected. I'm clicking it now, and now it's selected. If you want to deselect, you just click it again. Here on the right, you'll see the name of the attachment, which is also your image. When it was uploaded, the size of the image, and a lot of other information. If you want to delete it, just click delete. This is the direct URL to this image. This right here is mostly for search engine optimization meta tags. Here you'll see more display options. So alignment refers to how you want the image to align in your blog post or your page. So you can select none, which will most of the time just align to the left. You can select left, center, or right. You can choose to have it link to something. Most of the time what it'll link to is media file. What I mean by most of the time, I mean default. The default link is to media file. You can select none, you can select attachment page, you can select custom URL. You can select the size. Now, when you upload images to WordPress, it'll create typically three or four different versions of it, different sizes. So you'll see this is the medium size. These are the pixels, 300 pixels by 168. The full size of this, the original that I uploaded here, is 851 by 476. If you want a super small square version, select thumbnail. Let's say I want the full size. Click insert into post. And now you'll see the image here. Now if you want to change the text, format the text here, you'll see these choices. Now, if you want to see more choices, go to this icon right here. When you hover over it, it'll say toolbar toggle, and you'll see even more choices here. When you hover over them, obviously you'll see the title or the label of each icon. So go ahead and play with that. Now over here to the right, you'll see that there are several different boxes. This first box includes your publish options. You can save this as a draft, which obviously means anybody who isn't logged in will not be able to see this. The status right here tells you whether it's a draft or it's published. Visibility, this most of the time you won't need to use. This you can select to schedule your blog post ahead of time. So say I want to publish it on a Wednesday, this Wednesday. This Wednesday will be the 27th, and I want it to go out at 9 a.m. I click OK. If I want to preview the blog post, I'll click preview here, and it'll go here. And now you'll see that it says schedule here. When I didn't have it scheduled, it said publish. If the blog post is already published and you made changes to it, then it'll say update. Now this next box right here is a little more advanced. You can play with it. You can select the different options and then click preview to see what it will look like. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, with the preview option, it does not mean that the post is being published. It just means, it's just showing you what it would look like if it was published. Anyway, so you can play around and click these different icons if you see them, and click preview, see what they look like. Now scrolling down, you see categories here. Categories is specific to blog posts. So say you're an online marketer like I am. I might have different categories like email marketing or social media or websites. If the blog post is about websites, then I would click websites. Let's create a new category. Maybe another one. Say this is just relevant to websites, so I'm going to uncheck social media. Now, you would use categories to organize the different topics that you talk about. If you choose to, you can choose to show the different categories to your readers, and they can sort through all your blog posts by the category. So if my readers wanted to read only about websites, all my blog posts about websites, they would click that link, and then the blog will sort it into blog posts only about websites that have been marked as a website category. Now, every WordPress theme is different, so whether or not you have this option of showing those different category links to your readers will depend based on what theme it is you're using. But you'll always see this on the side. Now, tags. Tags are similar to categories, but think of them as a way to break it down even further. So say within websites, I can have web design or content or design specifically. So I would type in a new tag and save it. So let's do content design. These are the two tags that I've selected. If I want to delete them, I just click delete. If you have a lot of tags that you've already used, you click this and then you'll see all the tags. Right now I don't have any tags that are created, so I'm just going to ignore this for now. Featured image. This will depend on your your WordPress theme. Typically a featured image is the image that you select to go at the top of your blog post. Now, it won't show up here. It'll show up at the top. So let's say I want that as my featured. Actually, no. Let's upload another file. Say I want this new image to be my featured image. selected. I'll see it there, and let's create a new preview and see what it looks like. This is my featured image at the top. You'll notice that it's not in the content of the blog post. Again, this totally depends on the theme you're using, whether or not it'll display featured images and how it'll display your featured images. So that's how you create a new blog post. I'm going to show you, actually I'm going to save this as a draft. So I canceled that. See how now it says publish immediately? I don't want to publish it, so I'm going to click Save Draft. Now Post Draft is updated. Now you'll see a list of all the blog posts here. This is the one that was created before we started this tutorial, and this is the one that I just created with you. When you hover over the blog or the titles, you'll see that those links are showing up underneath the title. You'll see Edit, which will take you to the edit screen that we were at before. Quick Edit is pretty cool. You click Quick Edit and you can change some things about the blog post. You can change the title, you can change the slug. Now the slug is part of the URL. So if you go back to the edit screen, you'll see this is the URL, also known as permalink. It ends in "this is my new blog post." If I want to edit it, I click Edit here, and I can edit that, and then click Update. Or back in this screen, the Quick Edit, I can change it to, say, New Blog Post. Click Update. And then view my blog post. And up here you'll see now it says New Blog Post instead of "this is my blog post." You can also change the date that it was published on. You can password protect it by typing in a password here. You can change the categories. You can change the tags. You can allow comments. You can change the status to draft, pending review, which you don't need to worry about, published. Make this post sticky. What sticky means is that your blog post will be at the top of your blog page no matter how many new blogs are created. So if you've noticed before that typically on blogs, it'll show the newest blog posts at the top. So before I created this new blog post with you guys, we had Hello World, which was at the top of my blog page. Now I created this, which is newer, and so it's going to show up at the top. If I wanted Hello World to always be at the top no matter how many new blog posts I create, I would make it sticky. Anyway, you make all these changes if you'd like through Quick Edit and then click Update once you're done. And that's basically it with creating posts. And again, pages is exactly the same thing, except you'll see on the side that there's you can't choose a category or tags. Page attributes, this is not something that you really need to worry about right now. Otherwise, everything else is the same.